Yes, my people, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. This is the Mandem Talk. Sorry we are late, man, but things happen, man. Black timing and all that. You know. But we're here, man. Trying to get the Mandem on time is impossible, but we're here. And yeah, man, I'm gonna think all things Man United, all things football. Musa, I don't know if he's trying to sort his Wi-Fi out, or he's trying to sort the lighting out. You know what I mean,
I'm
bro?
in. What are you saying? Am I percolating this time?
Yo, you're doing your bit now. You just have to stay there and hopefully you don't dip out. You know what I mean? But what are you saying, Musa?
I'm here, man. I'm in the building, man. I'm happy to be here. Obviously, you know it is. It's that time of the week where the man them link up and we talk all things United. So I'm excited.
Yeah, man. Big up to you. Big up to Dan B, man. Been a while, man. Been a while. We got man like Rhino in the building. Rhino, what are you saying, man? You blessed?
Yeah, man. We're there, man. We're there, man. Mandem talk. You know it is. Big up the Mandem. Obviously grateful to be here as well, man. But yeah, man. Let's get this. We got a lot to talk about today, man.
Come on. And we got a debut on the Mandem Talk. We got Leon in the building. Leon, welcome, man. Let them know who you are. You get me? And etc. etc. Introduce yourself, bro. You're on mute, first of all. I think I can't even hear you. Can you man hear him?
No, he's on mute. Oh, the mic's off.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. I can hear you now.
Sorry, guys. Bad intro, innit? Let me start again. You know what? You know that Giggs' new tune came out. I felt like slapping that on, but you'll get copyright. Like the man, them on. You know what I mean? But I've known you for a while, Saeed, innit? Through living in Manchester and that. But I just feel blessed for coming on. I watch you guys every week. Big up what you're doing and that. And I'm sure we'll link up in person as well. So I need to say for now.
Definitely, man. Definitely, people, man. So, yeah, but we got a lot to talk about, man. Leon, I'll start with you, man. Maguire looks like he's on his way out. We finally got rid of him. 30 million for West Ham. Is he the worst signing ever for Man United, or do you think there's been worse than that in terms of the price tag, in terms of everything that came with it? Where do you rank him in terms of that, man? And what's your thoughts on him leaving?
What, am I the only one who wants him to stay?
Yeah,
wow.
Nah, I'm joking. Maguire, yeah. I mean, it's club. What's it called? Negligence or whatever for signing him for that much. We was never gonna get. I mean, for us to get, what's he tied at? 35, 30 for West Ham. Then we're lucky to get that. I think it's time to move on now. I think the writing's on the wall, and I think I like the direction we're going in, man. You're going to talk about the couple of kids we've been linked with as well. I think that's the right move, really, isn't it? I think worst signing ever. Oh, I don't know, like he's up there. Yeah, he is. He's up there, but yeah, it's time, man. He's struggling himself, and really. Do you know what I mean? Like when he's on the pitch and that. And I don't know if I agree with the booze the other day in Dublin, but I think the general consensus for everything is for him to go. So I think it's time, man. I think we're moving in a different direction. We want a more athletic. We want like a young Eric Bailly, but who's not like Bailly, don't we? That's what we really want.
Yeah.
So when Varane's out, we got someone there who can complement that and maybe be the what Todibo's touted to be the successor of Varane. So I'm all up for that. So yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So what are you saying, man? You backing Maguire a little bit, or Ten Hag?
Come on, man. See Maguire, and Maguire's thing became now. You know what? Big and serious, yeah. He's got a strong personality, man. Because if you think about him as an individual, wanting to be a footballer, and making it to the pinnacle, playing one of the biggest teams in English football, if not the biggest, and then being put up there as the captain of the club, captaining the side. And kind of getting away with it because of the type of football that Ollie wanted to play. Ollie played the Maguire type of football. You know what I'm saying? It was all about, not like low block, not really, a high lines at all, and just counter attack. So it suited him. And then from going to that and it just flipping on the head and getting booed by your own fans and it being like an open joke. You've got you had certain man, I swear it was in Nigeria, MPs. Man's all talking about Maguire in Parliament in Nigeria.
Yeah, that meme was crazy. Yeah.
I remember my dad sent me something about
for him to know all of this is happening and still sticking it out. I think he's got a strong personality, man, and he has to go.
Yeah, I remember my dad sent me one time a little meme and that about Maguire, man, and that's when you know if you know your dad's WhatsApp group and that. If Maguire's
Yeah.
in WhatsApp groups, then you know it's something's going on in it. Feel me? But you know what? Listen, I'm not here. I called him Harry Beckenbauer, innit? Like everyone knows in it in lockdown. I thought I seen something in him. And then I realized, nah, that ain't it. You know what I mean? And then after that, he got exposed in it, Rhino. When you deep it, like he
Yep.
was okay in the first year a bit, but then when we had to play good football, man
Yep.
just exposed in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, 100%, man. 100%. Because obviously, I think as we know by now, Ten Hag doesn't bash players when it comes to press conferences. I think he lets it play out, and then look, the proof's in the pudding. So Brighton Brentford game, I think that's all Ten Hag had to see, But you say worst signing. Do you know what? It's so ironic because I think right now, as Manchester United, we're doing much better business. I don't know what everyone else feels, but we are actually letting go of players. Like, can you believe it? Like, players are leaving. It's not just one. There's going to be at least 5 players leaving, and that's going to improve the whole overall score of the window. And if we get, what are we looking at? Centre back, apparently 2 midfielders, and maybe another striker, possibly on loan. That's great. I think it's good business. So I don't know. Calling it the worst signing, 80 million, and we've sold him for 30 is kind of crazy. But at the same time, we've kind of had the cojones to let him go. You feel me? So yeah, man. Depends how you look at it.
Yeah, no, 100%. You know what? Ten Hag is I think for me, he needs to be studied, innit? His cold-blooded chat, yeah. You know what I mean? It needs to be studied, Leon, man. Because, brother, the guy said Ronaldo, good player, sold. He said David De Gea, you know what I mean, part of the squad, then sold. You know what I mean? Who else was there? And obviously Maguire now, he said, you know what, he's going to be part of the squad, gone. Like Ten Hag, whatever he says, yeah, just think of it as, yo, that ain't really what he means, isn't it, really?
Yeah,
in reality.
Follow his actions.
I like him because he's taking the pressure off the squad, innit? He's just like, all of that background rubbish, we don't need to worry about that. Let's just focus on what's going on in training and that. And obviously, like, a lot of people are questioning the style of play, where we're going this year. Are we holding the ball well out of possession and stuff like that? But I like the business that he's doing. Do you know what I mean? I mean, how many of the signings can we say have flopped?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's true, it's true.
So I like
I think Anthony needs work on, but other than that, like, it's been good signings, been good positive signings in that aspect. You know what I mean? Soleil goes there. Thank you, Maguire. The fan base pick and choose. This fan base pick and choose. I don't know what you mean by that in terms of whether they think he's good or whether they think that he should be going or leaving at this minute. It is what it is, isn't it? When you deep it and that, you know what I'm saying? Like the managers had to let him go now, man, and we got to move on. Like that. I feel like you know what it is, yeah. Because we can get some money out of him, and because, like I said to you, he's still got a little bit to give for West Ham. It's why not, man? Why not?
In the right system, he's calm. In the right system, he's all right, innit? Do you know what I mean? So Newcastle, West Ham, do you know what I mean? Maybe Brighton. I could see him at Brighton with Lewis Duncan or them, man. Do you know what I mean? But what I like about Ten Hag is, for years, when you go on FIFA, and you find a baller, and you gassed in it because he's not even that much money, like he might be wrapped or something, and then you develop him into a bad man, innit? Like, I feel like that's what Ten Hag's doing, innit? Like nobody. I don't even the other kid that you've got on this title stream. What's his name? Tapsoba. I don't even know who he is.
Tapsoba. Bayer Leverkusen. We're going to talk about that. Yeah, Bayer Leverkusen. He's obviously going to be one of 3 replacing him. But you know what? Yeah, Mandem, and I'll probably start off with you, Musa. 3 defenders to replace him. Todibo, Pavard. Let's talk about Pavard first of all. Do you rate Pavard, Musa, in that aspect? Because a lot of people have been hit and miss on the timeline today. They've been about, you know what? Is he that or that? He's a bit basic, etc., etc. But Pavard, you rating him?
Yeah, but I think if you're coming in for Maguire, you're not coming in, to start. You know what I'm trying to say? You're not there to start. So if you're not starting and you're coming in as a backup to Martinez and Varane, then I'm not really fussed, to be honest. I'm just thinking if you're coming to fill in and you're solid and you're just not Harry Maguire, no disrespect, then it is what it is. I'm good to go. I don't want it to be. I'm more worried about the midfielder who's coming in to replace Casemiro when he's injured. Who's that 6? Who's coming in? You know what I'm saying? If we sell McTominay. As for the backup to the defenders, I just feel like if you're even on a Lindelof standard, which I think Lindelof is good, whenever him and Martinez have played together, I felt comfortable. And for me, it's kind of shown, you know, how bad Maguire made Lindelof look. Because a lot of the time we thought that Lindelof was dead food, but you've gone to see when Lindelof's played with Martinez or he's played with Varane, he's actually been solid.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man. Big up to Neji in the building. Neji, what are you telling me? Jamaica
people,
rapping.
man.
What are you saying?
Come on,
bro?
man. All day, every day, you know, things set for a long time. Every time we put on the jersey, I have to come through the patois, you know. So yeah, man. Big up. You say, man? How's everyone getting on?
Yeah, we're all good,
bro.
man. We're just debating who should be the next back up to Harry Maguire. I think Pavard gets a bad reputation. I think for me, Bayern Munich, he was very good last year for Bayern Munich, you know, in that aspect. He's a very good ball carrier. He's aggressive. For me, he got physical strength. He can play in the back three. He can be centre back. He's very, very multidimensional. You know, Neji, I wouldn't be too displeased with Pavard. It just depends on what Man United want. Like, I feel like, is Pavard gonna knock Varane and get him shaking, or is Todibo gonna get Varane shaking? You know what I mean? And be like, yo,
maybe not. You know, but I think the main thing is can you find a light for light replacement? I think that's the biggest thing. When I look at the situations regarding centre back, obviously, and again, I do say this with respect, and I know I've got my people who understand my personal preference on Maguire, but I say this with respect that any player that replaces Maguire, in my opinion, is an upgrade. And I say that because I look at the names that are looking to come in, and I see the upgrade already. So I think for a first season, if you can, because let's be honest, Varane is on a slight decline. Doesn't mean he's lost this thing, but he's losing it a little bit. You know what I mean? He's got to be a little bit smarter with it, the way he plays the game, and that's okay. That's part of an adaptation as you get older. You know what I mean? Like, you have to alter your game just so you can stay on the top of the game. So I don't expect Varane to still not be a dominant centre back. He's class. He still is. However, bringing in somebody else who could easily not easily, because it's disrespectful to Varane, but someone who could do his role where the team don't kind of shift drastically, I think is perfect for a replacement, especially when our budget is what it is, and for the season what we've got. Can you find a light for light replacement in regards to, you know, a backup to Varane? I think you can. And I think Pavard, if you're speaking on Pavard, he has the obviously attributes to go right back as well if necessary. Please excuse me. Yeah. So he has the attributes to play right back, but at the same time, the profiles that have been listed, like, they're all very similar. Pavard is a little bit more finesse, he's a bit more Lindelof structurally, but either way, it's still a player, or they're still players that could easily fit into the system, in my honest opinion. So given that basis, I'm not really too fussed to go, the player that we bring in right now has to be the replacement for Varane. Because if we do well in the season, boys, then it's a case of, okay, we've got a bigger kitty. If we get new owners, no one's really cared about whether Pavard signed a new deal or not. It's a case of, now we can go and get our man. So I think it's a short-term fix, but one that can be strong enough for a season at least, and then play for maybe a new contract. So that's where I'm at, boys, personally.
You know what? Yeah, just to come in, I like the young, hungry guys, man. I want the young, hungry dons. You know what I mean? I feel like we need a mix in the squad. Like, I feel like we need 3 or 4 older heads who are going to have that experience and stuff. But I like the younger dons because, like, I feel like Varane right now, I don't know if anyone agrees with me, is a good person to study off for the next 2-3 years and then it's a good timing to kind of make that transition. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm up for the young ones, man, because we haven't really got that much to lose. Let's just say we pay like 20, 25. Like, what would you say? What's Todibo part of that? 25 million euros, 25 million pounds, 30 million?
30 million.
What,
30
euros,
million-ish.
pounds?
Yeah,
I reckon
euros.
pounds, you know. Yeah, 35 million euros.
In this market, that's not a big risk at all. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Like, I don't think so. Hasn't he already played a good quality at Barca? He's played 70 appearances. The other kid I look's played 100 appearances. I'm up for the young, hungry Lions, me personally. That's my preference.
Yeah, big up to got a super chat from Saint Marlow. Big up to you, my guy. He says, why are we looking for backup? We should be looking for players who can genuinely challenge. And that's why I think for me, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I think Lindelof's a bit passive, man. I don't think he's that guy to say, yo, brother, I'm gonna take your spot. Like he ain't looking at Varane like that. It's okay to know your role in life, innit? Like it's okay to know your role, but at the same time, you got to be able to kind of say, yo, listen, I'm coming for your neck. Like when you look at Man City, and Kanji's not just come in there and said, yo, like I'm just here to take part.
Yeah.
Nah, he's coming now. I'm taking it, take over.
Real
You know,
talk.
same with Ake. He's coming and he's taken over. He's almost
Yeah,
like
but Nathan Ake is a bit of an anomaly. When he first came in, Saeed, yeah, my man wasn't really getting minutes. It's like he was bought and no one knew about him because he wasn't getting played. He had to work his way in there. But I think the consensus with the fan base needs to be a bit more realistic and understand that it's okay to have players that are fulfilling a role. We had Darren Fletcher, we had John O'Shea, and they all were part of winning. Big game players as well. Still stepped up, but like they knew their role. And sometimes it's nice to go, yes, we've got depth and we've got quality coming in, but also you've got to have them players who are happy to play second fiddle, and when it's their time, they do their job. And I think if you can get a mixture of that in, that will humble against some of the players. Because you don't want everybody, of course, ideally you want everyone fighting for a place, but you don't want everyone to get to the stage where it can turn a bit sour in a room. You want to know people who know their place and are happy with their place. Similar to Romero when he was second fiddle to De Gea. Do you know what I mean? News place is the best second goalkeeper out there, and I know obviously outfield plays is slightly different.
So, sorry, is there an echo anywhere? Or I don't know if there's an echo.
Yeah,
can you hear an echo?
I can hear it. Look at
Is
it.
it on me?
Yeah.
Who's it coming from? Is it
I
Musa?
think it might be Musa, yeah.
Oh, Musa, man, what one?
Am I not mute? I'm on mute though.
Oh, you're me.
He's on mute. He's on
Is
mute.
it still coming now? I can't hear nothing now.
It stops now.
Yeah,
it
let us know if
stops.
you can still hear it, guys.
Might be.
Yo, Neji, you're killing me, by the way, bro. Just finished gym. This guy's eating food on this guy's killing me.
Listen, bro.
Yeah, man, this is the Mandem talk, man. You know what I mean? Do your thing, man.
Listen, the
food's
people
on
in the
time
comments
this time.
know, yeah, if I step up to the barbershop, I'm still reaching. Do you know what I mean? I'm still reaching. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. If I got to eat my food, I eat my food. Last time I had to have my protein yogurt and I had to have my berries, man. Do you know what I mean? Calories don't wait for nobody. And I have a curfew.
Exactly.
I don't eat after 8 o'clock. So, yeah. You know what I mean?
Fair play.
So,
Fair play, man.
yeah, man.
Nah, that's
but
fair
big up the
play.
people, though. I appreciate the relaxedness. Yeah.
Yeah. There's
Let me my
nearly
beans in
1,000
peace,
people.
man. What's all you?
Yeah, man. There's nearly 1,000 people in the stream. Make sure you guys are liking the video, people. So everyone, we support the channel. We've not even hit 500 likes yet, so let's get them likes up. Yusuf, big up my guy from South Africa. He says Pavard, a high IQ player, his ability to play right back is important. And big up to Viva Benga with a super chat there. You know what it is, though? The thing is, Bayern Munich are saying around 30 million euros. Tuchel wants to keep him because he thinks he's a big asset to the football club. But the thing is, Musa, I'll come up to you next. Like, do we need versatility at this stage, or do we need to be best in class and just own what you do? Like, Pavard, is he the best in his position, or is he just versatile and Mr. Dependable rather than Todibo, like Leon says, up and coming and looking to take over? Like a Saliba. Look at Saliba. All of a sudden, he had a couple of loans. Boom! They come to the Premier League and owned it. Like, let's be honest. Saliba was one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League last year. We never know. We could have another Saliba on our hands in Todibo. You just don't know, do you?
Yeah, I think it's gambling. I think with Pavard, you're not really as gambling as much. And I just don't know if we're in a position this transfer window to be looking for like replacements in terms of someone who's going to step up and then be the main centre-half. Or are we just looking for people that can fill the gap, like Neji was saying, and knowing your position and knowing your role within the team? But I think it's much easier to be a part of a winning squad and know your role and know the position you're going to play than a team that's really not fighting for anything and are sitting on the bench. Because when you're not winning games and you're not winning trophies, you start thinking to yourself, why is my man playing over me? Because they didn't win the last game and we ain't winning no trophies. Like, what am I doing on the bench? Whereas when you look at City, there's world-class players happy to sit on the bench because they know they're a part and they're going to contribute to a winning team and a successful team. And I feel the problem we have now is that we haven't been that for such a long time. And we've also been knocked out of many competitions, early on in previous seasons where we're only in the league, we're only in 2 cups, and it's like the league and maybe the FA or the Carabao Cup, and it's like there's not enough games for everyone to play. Whereas this season we're going in and we know Ten Hag takes every competition serious. So I think there will be more minutes. But then again, this man don't like to change his 11. I'm hoping he was only doing that because he wanted to win silverware so badly in his first season. He couldn't really risk playing man that he didn't think were up for it. Whereas this season, you know, he finished third, he won silverware. Is he going to be more relaxed and allow and take it a bit easier in the Carabao Cups and play, you know, the second string players? Or are we going to still be seeing Casemiro and them man playing every game, every competition? And that's a worry because that's when the injuries come in. And then that's when we start asking the question, because I think from pre-season, I've liked what I've seen from Casemiro. Even though a lot of people have been saying that, yeah, Cass is the one that's getting a bit older, we might have to replace and stuff like that. I've liked what I've seen from that. So again, I just feel like looking at the centre-backs and who they want to bring in, I think he just wants someone that's going to fill positions and be solid enough. Whether it's like, you know, a young and upcoming possession like we did with Højlund, and you get a version of Højlund in the centre-back. I don't think that's what he's looking for. And if that's what it is, I don't know if it's this window. I think this window, we need to just really, if it's me, like Neji said last season, we need a second striker back, boys. That's all my head's at right now. When I'm hearing about defenders and all that, my brain's not really there. I'm still thinking about Felix.
Striker as well. We don't even have the first one ready, man. Forget about the second one. Have you heard about the first one?
I told you in the group chat, if I speak, the man that won't like me.
I'm joking with you, man. You know he's the kind of guys that I told you so about Højlund. I told you, bro. Precaution, innit? Precaution.
My man's too well, you know. Saeed, you saw how tall Højlund is. He's tall, you know. He's a tall player, so like those back issues are there and thereabouts in the tall man. Then you know what I'm saying. If you pull it, it's different. It's not low gravity and that. And this is the Prem. Right. Them small players might spin him, and next minute he's holding on his back.
Nah, I hear you. Big up to St. Marlos. We need quality because we are building. Each position should be challenging until we get back to the top. Look at City. Look at Real Madrid. It just depends, Rhino, innit? Like, you know, I mean, right now we're not at that stage, innit? You feel me? Like, I'd love to be on that stage, but we're still building, innit? And
man, that big Papa Fox trying to call me, man. Just every time, man. He's 60 years old, innit? So just bear with me. I know he's a tank, but just he's getting at that age, man. Do you know what I mean? So if it cuts off, just allow him. I'll speak to him, man.
Yeah. Nah, it's all blessed.
Yeah, no.
Right now, what do you reckon?
100%, bro. Like right now, I think we're in a position where we can get the best we can for the price we're paying. So I do believe Ten Hag is going to make the right decision and get the balance correct. And for in my opinion, I feel like what we're going to do is we are going to go towards the direction of finding a quality person that can push for Varane's spot and learn from Varane at the same time. So have a higher ceiling than Varane, shadow him, but eventually take his spot. Or maybe even take his spot straight away, respectfully, if he does what we need to do. Because as we know with Varane, his positioning and stuff can be quite good. But in terms of progressing the ball forward and even being that fox in the box, certain backs are doing that nowadays, as you see from John Stones and whatnot. So from the clips that I've seen of Todibo, and also obviously we know about Pavard, you know he likes to do his little scissor kicks and whatnot. But I feel like Todibo's got that profile. Be that extra man in the midfield or in that third man run that can score headers. He's good on his feet as well. So we need more progressors from our back four. So I can see us going. You can see what Ten Hag wants to do now. Even in regards to sorry, bro, what's your name again?
Leon.
Leon, yeah. What Leon said about finding the style of play and stuff, I'm starting to see what it is. And I think people get the whole transition football a bit confused. It's not literally just counter-attacking. It's setting traps as well. It's the way we play out from the back to allow the players to, you know, even if we are in possession, we can still do transition football. Whether Onana does a ball over or long and then the Rashford's on the break and stuff like that. So there's a lot of what Ten Hag wants us to do that I can start to see. So yeah, man, I think we'll go for a bit of quality as well. I think everyone's going to be pushing for their places still.
Quick one though, who's our best centre back at the club? If we're honest, who's the best centre back?
It's obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sancho.
The centre back.
Yeah.
Martinez.
Yeah.
You think Martinez is better than Varane?
Yeah. I think he offers more.
For me,
they're different players, aren't they? But he offers more. I think. Yeah, I like.
You think so?
Somebody said to me the other day, what other centre back can play the ball from the back like Lissandro does. It's like a DM at the back in it. Do you know what I mean? Like so.
Because I feel like when he was out and we had Luke Shaw step in with Varane, we just moved and we cruised. Yeah. And I feel when Varane was out and we were playing Maguire and Lindelof and Martinez was still there, he started to look a bit off himself. Like he was doing a bit too much, trying to compensate and trying to run around. And he was like, "Wow, where's this Rolls Royce next to me? Where's this smooth play?" And I feel like it's very easy to think that Martinez can do it on his own. Well, I've seen Varane make everyone else seem like, all right, cool, everything is smooth. And I think,
but to counter that point, Musa, but it's the same thing with Varane. When Varane didn't have Martinez next to him, Varane didn't really have a good season as well.
No,
so I think it's the balance.
No, but I said when Martinez has been playing with when Varane's been playing with Luke Shaw, who was that left-footed centre back, and it wasn't Maguire or Lindelof, it was clean. Whereas when Martinez, was playing with a right-footed centre back next to him, and Maguire or Lindelof, you just feel a bit more under pressure. You just feel we can concede here. Whereas when it's Luke Shaw and Varane. Go on, when it's them land. Yeah, so for me, I still think Varane is our best defender, man. I'm surprised. I get the attributes that Martinez has got, but I just feel like if Varane goes missing and we have to play Martinez with anyone else, it's still sticky for us, lads.
I just want to second your point, to be fair. I think a lot comes down to understanding the players, man, and understanding from a professional standpoint. I'm not saying I'm a professional footballer, but I have an understanding of it. I like to feel I have. Of where it comes down to understanding on the pitch, and high IQ players, when they're in their respectful positions, if they understand their partners and what's going on and around them, they then trust certain situations to happen. When you've got players that are, in my terminology, incompetent under pressure or are hesitant in certain pressurized situations, your better players then struggle, in my opinion. Because there's no understanding. A partnership is not just based on footballing ability and talent, but it's also understanding the game and reading the game. Yeah, and I feel that when Martinez is playing next to Varane, there's an understanding. You can see that blossoms straight away. When it's a case of Maguire or Lindelof stepping in, it was difficult. However, when you look at Luke Shaw, as what Musa was saying, which is what triggered my opinion here, is that Luke Shaw's got an IQ to understand and read the game very well as a centre-back. So he was mopping up a lot of early balls that were coming in, and Varane was just sweeping literally in his own little field. And having that intelligence, especially in this way, I've got so much credit and respect for Luke Shaw, because being able to read the game in the way that he has been, playing at centre-back with an experienced centre-back next to you, normally you're expecting Varane to tell Luke Shaw what he needs to do. That wasn't the case. It was like he'd been playing there all these seasons. So you have to have complementary players, yes, talent-wise, but you also got to have the ability to understand each other and read each other's game quickly. And I think, again, Varane's going to need that the older he gets, because if he's got someone who's inexperienced and not really up there, Varane could be shown up. And then it'll be people going, because he's old, he's this, not really realizing that it's because he can't work with that player.
It's like, what Varane did well was he understood Martinez's height and understood when he would have to go in and deal with certain type of balls, where Maguire and them man just thought, right, you're a defender, jump, deal with it. Where he would understand that, this is when I need to go in and attack the ball or get it, or this is when I can fall back. So I just feel like, as good as Martinez is, he has got those frailties, and if he doesn't have a man next to him who understands what those are, like you said, and has got that football IQ as well, he's going to leave him exposed. Because if you leave Martinez exposed, as you've seen, it can be problems for him. So I just feel like if we don't get the right type of player next to him to replace Varane, it could be a long day.
Yeah, you're right. You know what's nice, yeah? Go on, you go.
Yeah, go on, bro.
No. Read your super chat. Go on. I'll go after.
Big up to Zoetek. Says Varane is clearly our best centre back fit. If fit, he organises us. Playing centre back isn't all about passing and tackling. Varane brings that calmness to our defence. I agree. But the problem is, though,
that's a great super chat, man. Big up, man.
Yeah, big up to Zoetek. But it comes back to the point of what the modern day centre back has to do now, and the modern day keeper has to do now, Leon, is that now you need to do just more than just defending. You have to progress the ball well. And I don't think, for me, Varane can progress the ball as well as Lisandro can, and that will enable us to play a different style of football, if you know what I mean. But go ahead with your point that you were going to say.
No, I
before
think
that.
you're right. I think they complement each other so well, like beautifully. I think they really do. Do you know what I mean? Like, and Musa made a really good point because he's got my brain thinking. I'm saying, yo, Lisandro, 100%. But it's like there are situations where Varane sits back and Leacher goes, and Leacher knows when to read for Varane, and it's a good combination. But do you know what's really nice, Mandem? Yeah, we're arguing about who's the best. What was we arguing about years ago? Who's the biggest numpty? Dumber and dumber. Do you know what I mean? So like, this is nice. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's
now
nice.
let's do this for the strikers and the midfielders, and the. Do you know what I mean? So I think I trust Ten Hag to have profiled the right person to be the successor for Varane, because I think that's kind of the. I mean, I don't listen. I'm not going to confess to be an expert on Todibo and Tapsoba, so I'm guessing they're taking the right centre back role because Luke Shaw's got the left back up. Yeah, is that kind of what we're?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
man. I think, but Varane is a key man. He's understated, isn't he? He's very understated in the way he plays. Yeah. So, yeah, but it's a nice feeling to.
Random though, how comes like we're seeing Pep go 4 centre backs in his back 4 and say, look, we're gonna defend first, make sure we don't concede, and let everyone else play. And if we can get one of them like Stones who can come in the park. And then we got 2 defensive midfielders sitting. We're going to do that as well. But he's gone back to like where he's lost certain Champions League semi-finals and stuff. He's realized that as good as you are going forward, if you're not defended and you're...
Yep.
He's making a good point as well, man.
Yeah, he's making a good point as well there. Yeah, you're right. I think, you know what it is, though? Ultimately, maybe he's right in that aspect that Pavard is there for the versatility in Champions League games as well. When you want to go to a back 3, you can't go to a back 3 out of possession. You know, so that versatility, we don't want to have to be relying on Maguire and Lindelof in that aspect. You know what I mean? Or let's say, I don't know, another defender. You know, in that regards, we can actually play the centre backs that he wants to do. I generally think Pavard's coming in to take spaces, man. I don't think he's coming in to just chill.
Same.
And this guy's a Champions League winner, multiple, Bundesliga winner. He's a winner, won the World Cup experience. He's not coming to just say, "Yo, Dallo and them, man. I'm just here to kind of keep you at, at arm's length." I'm here to kind of make sure I take this spot. And you want that, though, man. I want players not feeling like their position is guaranteed, Leon, in that aspect. Like,
and you know what? I want athletic players. So, like, if we have games where we've got versatility as well, if one of these, because we know, like, Timber for Arsenal now, he could play right back if they need him to. So we need, if this Todibo kid's, I don't know the profile of the player. Can you not tell me? Is he quick? Is he athletic? Is he? Because mostly Barca do buy them.
Todibo, quick. You know what? I'm going to show you a video. of
because if we get someone who's quick,
I did a video.
Go on. I was going to say, if we get someone who's quick, when we need a right back and we're lacking a little bit, maybe Dallo's not on form and Wan-Bissaka's out, bang, straight in.
He's got a lot of suitors.
So I spoke to my good friend Lee, who's a Ligue 1 expert. And for those of you guys that watched it, it was about in June I interviewed him and I just spoke to him about the situation about Todibo. And this is what the profile we're going to get with Todibo.
He's got a lot of suitors, and quite rightly so, because for me, I love watching him play. Every time I see him play, I can't help but be impressed. He's like a Rolls Royce defender in the making. So comfortable on the ball, good in the air, strong, likes to play out from the back. Chips him with the odd goal here or there. He's a threat in so many areas, and he's got so much pace as well. He's getting on the ball, comfortable, pace. It's really difficult for a lot of Ligue 1 strikers to outrun him, and there's a lot of pace in Ligue 1, believe me.
Definitely.
But there's a lot of pace in Ligue 1, but he's a really, really promising prospect. Not quite broken into the French national squad yet, but there's definitely time for that, and I think for that to happen, he's going to need a bigger move away from Nice. But if I don't know if you.
Yeah. So
man.
He sounds to me like another Varane in the making in terms of Rolls Royce. Quick, pace. But you know what it is, yeah? I looked at his heat map. He does occupy that right-hand side
Right channel,
in
yeah.
terms of he's almost like a hybrid of a right back and a right centre back in that aspect. So if you look at his heat map, he could actually play right back if you want him to, but also that right-hand side. Because I think for me, that's our weak point, you know, when you
Yeah.
deep it, that right-hand side of our play is our weak point. Wan-Bissaka, Dalot, even if it's one of the two, then you've got whoever's in that midfield on that right-hand side and Anthony. We don't have balance in there. I think the left-hand side is calm. Rashford, Shaw, Lisandro, and then whoever's in that kind of mold, whether it's going to be a Mount or whoever it is. So that side, we've got balance. I don't think our right-hand side has balance. So
Yeah,
maybe he's looking for the progressive play and our build-up play to be quick on that right-hand side, because it looks like to me it's top-heavy, you know, in that aspect, you know?
Yeah.
That's calm
no,
though, because like, sorry, I was going to say, Ryan, that's
on,
calm because like, let's just say Wan-Bissaka gets caught lacking, bit of a dodgy pass or whatever, yeah, Todibo's there, or if Todibo steps out, Wan-Bissaka can come round, because Wan-Bissaka can, I wouldn't say can do what Kyle Walker can do and play in a back three, but he can kind of cover at times in that position. Do you know what I mean? You know, he can get the pace and get back and kind of, he's not, what's the word? He's not flustered, is he, when he plays? He's chilled, do you know what I mean? So I like it, man. I think we need someone athletic, man. I loved Eric Bailly when we signed him. It just didn't work out. But I love the profile in it. You know what I mean? I've been rating that for time minutes, and I think we need that, man. I mean, we've got some great technical ballers, Lisandro and Luke Shaw, and then you've got Varane and then Todibo. So yeah, man, bring the kid in, man.
Even
I'm
to carry on from what Leon is saying as well. And on top of that, when we've got people like Todibo going down the right channels, like you said, Wan-Bissaka will be perfect to cover the space that he's left as well. So I was just going to say that it makes sense, man.
I think the biggest thing for me on the defense, and this isn't the Gea prop, by the way, but this is notifying the difference in what's gone on now with the goalkeeper situation, is that we're more vulnerable. One of the positives, and I'm going to say this point to make a point, one of the positives of having De Gea at the time was when Ten Hag first came in, I made a prediction that we wouldn't be playing Ten Hag football straight away and there'd be so many mistakes, and we're going to need that one-on-one goalkeeper, and he showed that we needed that. When you've now brought in Onana, and it doesn't mean that Onana isn't capable of making those one-on-one saves, but the ratio will be, if you're being honest and objective, I don't think he makes as many as those saves as De Gea. And so with the counter to that, to my point and argument, is that if you've got centre-backs now playing with this new system with a new goalkeeper, you need competence, you need strength within technical abilities and IQ, so that when you're under that pressure, there's no mistakes happening. And so that's got to be the most important thing for me now as I'm looking at it, going into having a new centre-back coming in, whether it's second choice or not, because I agreed with the idea that De Gea and Net last season may not be great for certain things, but as the team still getting to know each other and build in terms of style of play and stuff, we're going to see so many mistakes if Maguire plays, Lindelof, because it's incompetence under pressure. And I've always said that. Those have been my trigger words for 3 years about Maguire, and I never rated that. So I'm just staying consistent and saying that it's a difficult situation if you bring centre-backs in that are not competent now, especially now you have Onana in goal. It's so important that you complement the goalkeeper that you've got. That could then also complement the system, because we're going to be under a lot of pressure. We're going to lose the ball. But can we retain that ball or get it back quick enough in the space of 7 seconds, or to get back in our shape to prevent situations happening, so Onana doesn't have to then pull out world-class one-on-one saves? Yes, we're going to need that, because that's an expectation from a goalkeeper, but I don't expect him to do it to the level of De Gea, and I don't want him to. I just want him to be in a situation where you've got competent centre-backs in front of you, a perfect spine, so you know Martinez is there, you know Bissaka is there, and if it is Varane or Diassi or whichever centre-back your preference is, they can competently do a job, so that, again, we limit the opportunities for them to score. And that's going to be the biggest thing for me regarding the centre-back. Can they be competent enough under pressure when going gets tough? And that's going to be the thing I'm looking out for.
Yeah, and also, you know, Musa made a good point, you know, because he was saying that, like, I've heard you say it on shows a lot, Musa, where it's like Ten Hag loves to go strong every time. So we need Mandem that the ability is not far off what we've got in it, because that way, like, we're going to be in a lot of competitions. This guy's not going to mess about, is he? He's going to go for every cup that you can go for, innit? And last time we struggled last season in certain games. So we need, like, for me, like, there's a lot of talk about, like, oh, let McTominay and Fred go and bring in one. Let these two go and let him bring one. I'm like,
that.
yeah, and I'm like, the man not remember 3-4 years ago, we was already lacking then. So we need numbers, bro. We need quality numbers. Do you know what I'm saying? We need another striker. We need another centre back. Pavard and this kid. Why not? Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I know doing the FIFA thing in it, but I think we need it. You know what I'm saying? And I think Musa, he just triggered a good point in my head about Ten Hag loves to go strong every time, doesn't he?
Yeah. Big up to everybody watching. 1.1k, only 324 likes. Let's get that up, people.
Oi, come on now. Say, you may as well lock off the show, man. This is Mandem show and no one's hitting the like button. Why are you taking us for idiots, man? Do you know what I mean? Like, this is one of your favorite shows every Ross Clark Wednesday. Do you know what I mean? And you're on 300 and something. Why are you not pressing the like button? Like, what do I need to do to get that like up from you? Just tell me something, man. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, with humility, tell me. But come on, man. Let's get the likes up, man. I shouldn't even have to beg it. Like, you're the loyal ones, you know. You guys are loyal.
Come on, people.
Loyal ones. Hit the like button. If you're loyal, you've been watching Saeed before you saw me in the Jamaica kit, before you saw Musa comparing Thierry on me and Rashford, before you even knew who Rhino was in the hat. Yeah? You've been one of them. Like the video, people. Come on, man. Let's
get also, like the video because Musa's Wi-Fi is holding up. Peace.
So don't know already. Like the
video. You know what? The situation with the... Yeah, exactly. The depth differentiation is a key thing.
I'm fighting.
He's there, really. He's there. You know what, though? It just comes back to the depth, though, thing in terms of midfield, though, innit? Because we're going to get rid of McTominay. We've got Eriksen. I reckon Donny's going to leave. Fred's going to leave. That leaves us with Mount, Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes, and possibly McTominay in midfield. But again, we don't know yet if he's gonna leave or not. Like, I start with you, Rhino, man. Like, how many more would you bring in? Do you reckon one more is enough? Obviously, you got Kobe Mino still around, but he's a young buck, innit? You know, you don't want to put too much pressure on Kobe Mino, man. Would you want two or would you want one?
I would definitely want two, man. Definitely. And apparently that's what we might be doing. I don't know how true it is, but we definitely need probably even three, to be fair. If we can get one midfielder and then prioritize getting a striker that can fill in now, and then another midfielder as well to be the third person in, I think it will be very important. But yeah, that midfield, because there's times when Fred does come in and he might help us add some legs into the midfield and put a bit of pace in the game as well. So we have to remember those moments. And hopefully what we have now is players just doing their job and just knowing what they're doing, knowing what the system is. And when other players come in, for example, I don't want to have a situation where, for example, Kobe Mainoo got injured and we got someone like Eriksen covering what Kobe Mainoo does. I don't want those kind of shortfalls. So yeah, I just want competent people doing their jobs, and then we can just rotate, and then we just have a nice system. So yeah, midfielders, at least two minimum, man. I think for this transfer window.
It's mad, you know, when we deep Fred last season, he had some big performances, and you know what, Musa, he scored goals, innit? Can McTominay do that, though? That's the thing, though, man. Like, I'm not saying don't, you know what I mean? For me, you got to get rid of Fred because he wants to leave, but you got to replace his kind of, sometimes he'll give you big games, sometimes he'll score you goals, sometimes he'll have the, like, I don't think McTominay can replace that in a sense, because when McTominay was on his own, he did have a good start to the season, but he kind of faded away. But whereas Fred, he would turn up in the odd big games. Barcelona away, Barcelona at home. There was a couple of big games. Man City, was it at home or was it away? I don't know which one. I think it was more home, I think. You know what I mean? These kind of performances, can McTominay, because obviously James Ward-Prowse is looking to go West Ham. So do they come in for McTominay as well? Like, does he do well as a backup player? Do you see backup player providing anything next season?
With McTominay, obviously in West Ham still, they might sell Paqueta to Man City, so they still might need another central midfielder. And I think when City start come calling, it gets peaked. So I think he could go, and I think there's still a chance that McTominay leaves. But I've said it before, with all the midfielders that we're selling, Donny van der Beek's the one that I still want to give one more season to. It is what it is. But I just still want to give Donny one more season out of everyone that has to go. I'm not here to debate it. I don't care what they got to say in the chat. Donny's a guy that I would want to give one more season to out of all the midfielders. I can still see Scott McTominay going to West Ham. But yeah, man, I feel like with what we're doing, how we're playing, where we're going, out of all the midfielders, I think he's still the best suited, Donny van der Beek, to actually stay. And as much as we're saying, I remember last season he started every game that he played, and Erik ten Hag was gradually playing him in more games and giving him more minutes. then he was playing well and he went and got injured. And everyone saw that he was progressing in his performances the more he got time. I'm just saying, like, and I know he would have got his minutes. We saw last season how people were getting their minutes, the injuries that we had. And I just feel like if he can get that season this season, we'll see a totally different Donny van der Beek. So, I'm hearing about him getting sold and all of that stuff, but it's not sounding too concrete like that. It's not sounding like, you know what I'm saying?
I can only second that, you know. I can't lie. I can only second that. If you look at, and again, I'm a big Donny van der Beek fan just for the simple fact of how I watch football. I have watched him since 2016. Prior to that, in the Ajax, and watched his development, even when he was playing as a 6 in his first season before he got moved into the 10-term role. I appreciate high IQ football. And I've said in the chat, I liken him to Thomas Muller. Thomas Muller would not be called world class in this day and age just because he doesn't do all the things that make compilations. But if you understand 100%. The game, to be able to do what he does is so rare. And Donny van der Beek has snippets of that in terms of the way he plays the game. So for me, my preference is I love Donny van der Beek. Put my preference to one side objectively, if I'm being very, very fair. If I look at Fred, Scott McTominay, and Donny van der Beek this pre-season, I think Donny van der Beek's had a better pre-season and shown in the final third that he's been a lot, you know what I mean? He's been dangerous with the link-up play, with the assist, the little chips over the top. Like, he's going in confidence, and it's a shame what's happened to him, and it happens in football. Some things you can't force in life. It's either for you or it doesn't, man. Some things slot nicely. You can try so hard, and, you know, I think on another university probably would have worked. Another time in the year it would have worked for him. But I think with Musa, if anyone's got to go, he will be the last of the midfielders to go for me, just based objectively of what I've seen in pre-season and knowing that he could do well coming off the bench. And I think he's a confidence player. The system's looking better now. The players that are in Ten Hag's system allows him to understand the movements the players are on Donny's wavelength rather than him being ahead of the others on an intelligence level. So for me, I'm thinking he's now got an opportunity because he's got players making the certain runs. He recognizes patterns and he's smart enough to be in that system. Is it too little too late for him? I think it is. But if he doesn't go, I'm more than happy to back him and support him in the sense of going, you know what?
If he stays, Najee, if he stays, and it's not to compare our players, but I truly believe from what I've seen in pre-season and obviously what he was doing before he got injured last season, if he stays and gets his minutes, and I'm not saying he's a starter, but I think because Erik Ten Hag's a man that if you're a part of a winning team and you do well, you're due to start again.
Yeah.
So I feel like if he does stay for whatever reason, I think Donny would have a better season than Mount. I'm just letting you lot know. Remember,
I agree.
I agree. He could ultimately have a rise similar to what do you call it?
That's mad.
He could have a rise similar to Basaka or Rashford or Shaw, where
this is what I'm talking
they were
about.
looking
Basaka.
like getting rid of him, and then now they're looking at important part to the team.
Yep, I can have a Basaka right.
No, but Musa, the problem is though with football nowadays, it's what you do off the ball is now sometimes seen better than what you do on the ball. I think with Donny, he's better on the ball than Mason Mount.
He's better off the ball. It's the other way around. He makes everyone else seem like they're playing well.
No, Donny's better on the ball than Mount. I'm saying Donny's better on the ball than Mount. But what it is off the ball is why Ten Hag bought him. Ten Hag
Donny's good off the ball. You know what
Donny's amazing off the ball.
Saeed, I thought that Erik Ten Hag bought Mason Mount because he sees him as the English Donny van der Beek. That's what I thought. And he just thought that Donny's not doing it.
It's the legs.
But I think he does. But I think Mount does for Eriksen. Does for Ten Hag what Donny done for him at Ajax. That's what he wants Mount to do.
Mount's got more energy though. That's the thing. Mount's got more energy for the whole 90. I don't think Donny can continue it. And I think
when he was at Ajax, he had the energy.
That's 5 years ago, man.
Yeah,
I'm just saying this, Saeed. That's why I'm saying that prime Donny is what Erik Ten Hag sees Mount as. That's why he's got Mount. But I'm thinking, what I think is that Mount, I don't know if he's gonna. Obviously, it's pre-season, but I just feel like if Donny stays, he's gonna do a Wan-Bissaka where everyone was like, "We gotta sell him. He's got to go." And due to performances,
he should have done that last season. No, he had a chance last season. He got injured. I know he got injured, but hold on a minute. There was 4 games before he got injured, and he didn't
played well.
Improve. He didn't.
Come on, Saeed.
He did, you know.
Come on, Saeed. Everybody was saying when he got injured that he was playing well, that he was just cooking.
There were certain games where he was adjusted. The game was it against Brighton or at home? There was a game we had at home. He did well in, and then he got injured. But there was a Real Sociedad. I don't think he did well in that game. There was another game where he didn't do well.
But
Listen,
we
I'm
weren't
a
cooking
big
at
Donny
that
fan.
start. Remember,
The thing
we
is,
weren't
I'm a
cooking.
big Donny fan, yeah. But I'd rather, for me right now, go and get another midfielder in. If you told me now, yeah, go and get Lavia and Amrabat right
Yeah.
now, and you
Nah.
get.
Amrabat, I'm just not an Amrabat guy. I got nothing against Amrabat, man.
No, he's good, you know.
But you see
That's
me,
I like
Decent, man.
Amrabat.
He's
I've
good,
seen,
you know.
I've seen Amrabat do
He's
certain
strong,
things. If you
man.
tell me Onana at Everton or Amrabat, I'm taking Onana. I see someone ask the question. If you ask me
I
Onana
like
at
Onana,
Everton
though.
Whoa.
or
I hear you
Amrabat,
though,
That's
but
wild, man.
Amrabat for the money is crazy value. Do you know what I mean?
The
So,
price. The thing is, Musa,
I
you
think-
gotta understand, yeah. And I know you like numbers in it, yeah. When you look at the players we're getting rid of in midfield and then the players we're bringing in for the price, we're actually making a little profit, spending less on the players to replace them and still having some leftovers. And they're better than what we're replacing. If they're not good enough next season, then so be it. Do you know what I mean? But for what it is where we are, that's an extra 10, 15 million. If we sell McTominay, if we sell Fred, and then we go and buy
Yeah.
Amrabat, do you know what I mean? There's 25 mil.
You know what it is though, man. Then and what's kind of getting me confused is that we're making a couple sales and we might raise up to 100 million. Why are we stuck on Amrabat? Can we not go and slap 70 million on a Chouamini or something?
Because we need more, bro.
Bro,
We need
Chouamini
another
doesn't
striker,
wanna
and we
leave,
need
bro.
more. Yeah.
No,
we
but
need
why?
more.
We're seeing
Bro.
listen, everybody will say Chouamini don't want to leave until he ends up at Liverpool, and then you lot are sending messages in the group.
Nah,
I
we
don't
need to
wanna
have
hear
that
this
balance.
again.
He is not leaving.
That's
Nah,
wild.
Musa, we need that back.
No,
We
but
need
why I
that
say
balance,
this,
man.
Mandem, listen, Madrid need to get Mbappe. Something's going on. They need to make a sell. And he's the only one, if they need to get a quick money, they can get it. So things can align.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is this. Even Caicedo at Brighton, we're selling players. We're about to earn about 100 million. Plus, we got a little money for Amrabat, which is 30 million. The question I'm asking is that it's such a... I ain't got nothing against Amrabat because something like Neji said, he's one of those players, and for the type of money you're getting him for, if he doesn't do well, you could replace him in 18 months and not really be too fast because of the type of money. So I'm not saying it's a bad, but I'm just thinking it's such a serious position. Why are we going all out and just getting someone that we can all say, yeah, all right, cool. It's serious now.
I think maybe I don't listen. No one knows that, but I think maybe Ten Hag's gonna work with a number of different midfielders and kind of see what works this season before he maybe invest the money next year. Because it is, I hear you, Musa. If Caicedo is available and you got the money, you'd be an idiot not to go. You are. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a game changer right there. And also because have we got cover for cash yet? Are we relying on Kobe Mainu? Like, have we really got cover for cash?
Yeah.
Have we? Do you know what I mean?
That's another thing as well.
Yeah, because like
Have
he's
we
gonna
really?
get burned. He can't play every game. He cannot play every game. Do you know what I mean?
You know, the time I saw Amrabat, man, to be honest, I saw the game Fiorentina against West Ham in the final. I saw the final. That's the only game that I watched him. And I saw him doing bits, but it was still not enough. But I just saw it. I was like, cool. Yeah.
Man,
it was
He was the
World
best
Cup
player
like
for Fiorentina.
Huh?
He bossed Rice out the game, man. You know what I mean? So I don't know what
And
the
in
thing
the World
is, yeah.
Cup, bro. In the World Cup, he
World
busted.
Cup I rate
the
it,
World
but
Cup
you
as
know what it
well.
is? You know the man then when they step into their national shirts, there's a lot of men that put in work for their national shirts, especially the African teams. They're just different type of players. And then they come to the national and they come to their normal club teams, and it's not the same. So there's a bit and the African players that, or you say the lesser nations, what they say are lesser nations, they got pride in their shirts. Their man go to war in their shirt. So I don't know if I was watching a man going to war for Morocco, but then maybe when he comes in the Prem and he's trying to spin like he's always spinning in Italy, there's just no time for him to spin. Like he likes that little turn. And I just don't know.
No, I heard that.
It is what it is.
I think we need
now listen.
ballers
Yeah,
like
go for it,
we
bro.
need ballers like Donny and Amrabat there, because I think one thing is clear. Saeed, you talk about it, yeah. We're not great at holding the ball. Do you know? And we're just trying to just keep it ticking over. We're not brilliant at it, are we? Like, I mean, Mount and Bruno together, it's sometimes my heart's in my chest, man. It's not. No, it is though, because like Bruno, when he does that dynamite ball thing,
yeah,
you know what I mean. But I think Neji made a good point as well about Donny, because I think he's not got the legs of Mount, but he's got the this up here to get in position and to do certain things. And I think a lot of people don't give Donny credit, because when he started playing well, he got pulled out the team. For me, do you know one of his best games was when we played in Istanbul? Do you ever remember that game? And he played in the 6, and he was spraying balls through and all of that. Like, for me, that was a great game.
Leon,
They-
bro, if I
we
told
lost
you the
the game,
amount of
but yeah, I like that
amount
game.
of arguments and debates I had with my man playing as a 6, yeah, to the point where I brought up facts. Yeah, you can't argue facts. I said, out of Fred and McTominay, who've never played a 6 in their life, professional career, Donny's played the 6. And when you come through Ajax's academy, they don't teach you to hold down one position. They teach you how to play every position in midfield. That's just the academy. And I was trying to say to man, when Fred and McTominay were mashing up and messing up, yeah, put Donny in the 6, and this under Ollie, because obviously Ollie he would have relied on higher IQ players because his systems weren't of that level of intelligence. So the more smarter players you have, the better you can play football because it's freestyle in that respect.
Yeah.
Putting Donny in that 6 made so much sense, and people say, nah, he's not good enough. I'm thinking, how are you writing a player off like this? I couldn't get it. So I'm with you, bro. Like, and I know it sounds like Donny Pop because I'm a big fan of him, but if you can look past my preference and my bias, like just objectively, I don't think anyone could argue how much of a great player he actually is from just an understanding standpoint and a tactical standpoint.
He can take. He
100%.
could potentially take Eriksen's place. I'm not saying he can do what Eriksen can do, but he can kind of take that, come off the bench. Could he not?
Yeah,
I think he could still.
So.
Yeah, big up Kelly. Billy says we need Amrabat for that price bargain, and we will get Kane. Listen, Kane's gonna stay, and then we'll get him next season. Now, I mean, if Man United was serious, and they had money, they'd be in for Kane already, man. That would have been a situation right there. But I feel like for me, it's one of them where we gotta wait next year for Kane, man. You know, I mean, I've seen Martial. I don't know if you've seen Martial today, man, but. Bro, man, looked like he got this explosive pace out of nowhere, man. I don't know if you guys
little shuttle runs, man. He's looking slim though. He's not looking as Bolo, man. He's looking
he can look like Sonic. He can look like Sonic the Hedgehog, lightning speed. I give up. I give up. I'm done. I swear down.
Right,
sorry, Marshall FC. I'm sorry, man, to burst your bubble, but listen, let him do this and let's sell him
against Arsenal and sinks them.
Let him do this and then sell him. Let him show man how quick he is. And
and then let's shot him, man, quickly, man. Trust me, man.
I don't know if you can see
it
there
because he always does this, man. He sucks, man. Like pause, like he gasses up. Nah, man.
Jeez. Hey, listen. Anyone can look quick here over like 10 yards, innit? Why Fred is there? Still there, man. Fred is still there.
Gotta stay sharp, man.
Why is Fred still in the pictures?
Bro, Fred is still there, man. I'm telling you, man. He's going nowhere, man.
Bro, imagine if Martial makes a crazy comeback. Just imagine this season if he just
how many seasons have we said this for, Leon? We've said this so many times.
I know. You know what? I love Martial as well, like what he brings, like, but it's just how I think is that stat right about he only played one. He didn't play a 90-minute game last season. Is that actually true?
No, he's not played 90 minutes.
I believe it.
I think since January 2021, is it? Martial. I'm sure there's a minute.
Martial. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. Where's time, man? Where's time, bro? Where's time, man? Get him in here, man.
Yeah. Martial has not played a full duration of Man United match since West Ham in 2021. So that's the latest on Martial. Not played a single full 90 minutes for what, 2-3 years?
Oh, that stinks, man. That stinks.
It's really
saying.
So what we're saying is he's an
that's
impact
like when you're guessing
sub,
your brethren and they say you ain't want to fight since primary school. And you're guessing him and the man said, listen, he ain't knocked no one out since primary school, bro. And you're like,
telling you, man. So boy, man, listen, Martial FC, listen, Tyrone's had to go on holiday, man, because he's just, he's been feeling the heat lately, man. So he's on holiday.
He's going to watch Martial on pre-season, I promise.
I'm done.
I am telling you, man. Yeah, big up Tyrone, man. But listen, I think right now, things need to wake up a little bit, man. I don't know. The Amrabat needs to fix up, and then everything else is looking good, man.
I just want to see Maguire out. Once I hear Maguire's out, I'm not even too upset.
Here we go, innit?
Once I get that, here we go.
Hey, listen.
Then I know things are changing because
you know what's like, though? We've only got agreed fee. We haven't got agreed personal terms, So
why? Don't toy with us, man. Don't toy with us.
Yeah, but them lot are saying it's quite easy still. Them lot are saying it.
You know what? It's a De Jong
be an issue.
Remember De Jong as well, though. You know what I mean? Like, we agreed fee for him, and then all of a sudden the guy said, "Yeah, I'm staying there, boy." You get
You know
me?
what's
So-
going to happen, yeah? Maguire's going to go there and do some smoky interview, you know, in an East Ham accent or something. He's going to start coming out with a pie and mash and that on a mad talk about United. And
Yeah.
mad.
Mad.
He's gonna be like,
Cussing everyone out. innit?
energy wasn't great.
Maguire's Mandem though, it's peak. If he's at West Ham, he's due to score a mad rocket header against us.
He
Bro.
is. Old
If
Trafford
he
as well.
pockets Hoyland,
Stretford End.
if he pockets anyone and just bullies him, yeah,
It's
boy,
peak.
we got blood in our hands, man. I don't know, man. You just
Hey,
gotta-
the
Say
man
run
that-
to the away
hey,
fans.
listen.
He's going to run to the away fans like that, innit?
The man that must be on it to rip him, you know. I want to see Rashford rip by him and put him on the
trust me.
floor, bro. I swear
Some
down.
Phil Jones
Yeah.
thing.
Bro.
Bro.
No, big no, on a serious note though, like big up Maguire, man. Let him move on, you know. Be the captain of West Ham, but sorry, bro, not for us, man. Not for us, man. I think my man's gonna give him the captaincy, man. Let him flag that. Hammers, flag the hammers, bro.
I'm hearing, David Moyes is the third ever best ever Manchester United manager if this goes through. That's what I'm hearing.
Bro,
The third
Hey,
he's
best
got legend
ever.
status, man.
Hey,
Legend.
man,
Legends
them.
at
I
United.
swear down. If we get certain players out, I might have to even say metal madness for a bit. You know what I mean? Like, if I see certain,
David Moyes
You'll
takes
catch me saying that.
McTominay and Maguire. Hey, that's it.
Boy,
McTominay and Maguire is
Ten
a
Hag.
big move, you know.
It's a big move,
he's
bro.
only second to Fergie for me. I don't care about Ten Hag. He could win the treble. I don't care. Like,
Oh,
genuinely,
Hitman
he'll be
Hag,
second
man.
to. He'll be second to what do you call it, Fergie? If he
know what,
takes
though?
McTominay and Margaret, man, 100%.
because you know what it is
move.
with Ten Hag, when he moves on to you, you know. So I wonder who's gonna get that next treatment next, you know, because it's like he's like that guy that, you know what I mean, that's going to the next door. You see that meme, yeah, where you got man's like with the Halloween outfit and he's going to the next door with the sword and that. Like I'm
you
telling
don't
you
know
now,
who's next.
Ten Hag,
Yeah,
who's
Man,
next? Who's next?
I don't know. Like, to be honest, I don't know if I'm making it up or something. I'm seeing stuff, but I think Eric Ten Hag's like next target is Bruno.
Oi.
I'm
I don't
telling
know,
you, man, because the way he bigged up the Gea, listen, let me tell you why. The way he bigged up the Gea, and then had him gone, I was shocked. The way he bigged up Maguire, that's my captain, and then benched him. So he's bigged up Bruno, but everyone keeps on telling me that Bruno's not a Ten Hag player. Everyone keeps on telling me
made him
that.
captain,
bro.
though, man.
No,
Who's
forget
everyone
that. But I'm just
out
saying.
of them people, Musa, yeah. How many know
Nah.
Ten Hag personally?
Now listen. Listen, everyone. I'm just saying this because when he bought Mount, and I'm looking at both of them, and I'm seeing the age and blah blah blah, where Bruno is, where Mount is. They're very similar, but Mount is less riskier, and I just see Mount taking Bruno's position long term. That's all I'm seeing. That's how I see that because I'm looking at
Well, the
Bruno
thing
and
is,
I'm
though,
thinking, is Ten Hag
Bruno-
gonna go on?
Yeah.
Because does
No,
Ten
I'm
Hag
saying-
really like people that give balls away? Does he
No, I
really
don't
like
think he
that?
does. I don't think he does.
But it's the work rate, man. It's the work rate. Ten
But
Hag
Mount
loves the
has that.
transition.
But Mount has
Yeah,
that.
I hear that. There's gonna have to be uncomfortable conversations, man. Listen, I think for me, yeah, Bruno Fernandes I like some of his qualities.
I like Bruno.
If you told me next season we're getting an upgrade on Bruno Fernandes, bro, I don't think anybody should be bothered by
Who's
that.
an
In the
upgrade on
slightest.
Who's an upgrade on Bruno though? Who?
Right
Bro,
now,
come on, man. Let's not
So-
do
so-
this, man.
I'm asking a
Let's
genuine
play
question.
in world
Who's an
football.
upgrade on Bruno?
So he said, let's
You
not.
can't tell me.
Barella's an upgrade.
No, he's not.
There's people out
No,
there.
he's not.
Bro, listen, man. Do you know who Barella
No,
is, man?
dog.
There's
Come on,
there's
finish
players
being
out
locked
there
off,
that
you screen
are
Reggie,
quality.
come on. Run
Caicedo,
it off.
bro, I'm getting so many players ahead of. But the thing is, you're looking at the goals and the output. You're not
I'm
looking
not.
at the player in
I'm really
totality.
not. On my mum's, I'm
You
not.
are, man.
I'm telling you, I'm not.
There's so many players out there that
One
you
of
can
the
go and
most
get
highest,
that will play
oh my
better
God, one of the
football.
most intelligent players I've ever seen. The balls that my man does, you can't find on this planet.
the one touch ones, isn't it? The one touch.
creativeness
Yeah,
is
Bro,
out of
there's
this.
so many players,
Bro,
man.
I don't think you replace
Okay, let me
Bruno like
ask
that,
you a
though.
question.
I think I know
Don't
what
replace Bruno
Saeed's
with
saying.
Pavard,
You don't
man.
replace
But you know what?
you
It's
don't
not
replace him
about
like
the
that.
output, though.
You mean
just
I'm
change
go
looking
get
at
the
Pereira
output.
back from Fulham,
Because
man?
what you
Go
do,
do that.
You know why?
you change the style, you change the system,
You
a
change
bit,
the
or
style.
you tweak it, and you might have a better output for the team without Bruno in it. So it's not
Exactly.
just replacing him like for like. It's like just getting two different midfielders with a holding midfielder, and then the whole team has a better output. Rather than
Yes.
just, we're replacing Bruno. And I think that's what Eric Ten Hag would do. Not that he'll get someone similar. he'll have Mount do what Bruno does, but maybe not the balls, but the work rate, you know, being able to create as well and score a lot of goals from that position, and younger, and then maybe get a more silkier player in there, like a ball playing midfielder, like a De Jong, like he wanted to get. Because one of the biggest issues we have, man, then we don't have a ball playing midfielder. Who is that?
De Jong get created the same,
and Barella is
way.
that.
No way.
But we don't have a ball playing midfielder. Who's our ball playing midfielder?
You're not going to see. You know what's crazy about Bruno Fernandes here? I think you're going to see maybe a less impactful Bruno Fernandes. He's going to play a bit more deeper.
He's the ball playing midfielder now, Saeed. He's brought him.
That's what I'm saying.
To be that, and that's not his game
right now. You can't have that in the midfield. That's why, for me, I prefer a Bruno Fernandes who's probably less in that transitional period. I think I like him when he's disciplined and he can keep the ball and protect the ball. But then you are losing a lot of him. Then it's a case of, Raul, do you then upgrade on Bruno Fernandes if you're not going to get more out of him? And he's brought in Mason Mount, who then will be the person who breaks the lines even more. That's why he's brought Bruno Fernandes.
Because Mason's playing further out.
Mount will break more lines than Bruno Fernandes this season. You watch the positions that Bruno Fernandes has. He will be that's the deep lying playmaker rather than Mount, who will be more the
But that's what's happened
trigger.
all pre-season. All pre-season, Bruno's been closer to Casemiro. Mount's further up. I
appreciate. Listen, I don't want this to come across like I've got an agenda against Bruno Fernandes. I appreciate what he gives us, but I also think for me, United should be looking at next season and the season after in terms of getting better for the football club. Next season, I want to be challenging. If that means we get a better player than Bruno Fernandes, I am getting that.
Who though?
We need to get better.
Who are you getting? Who are you getting that's going to have the creative? Who are you getting? Yeah. You tell me a player who's got literally one of the highest in the top percentile for creative stats, literally in Europe, not just the Premier League, in Europe, in a team that is underdeveloped, in a team that's trying to at least build a system, yeah? You're looking at a man, yeah, that's now
why is he going to live in the big games?
Wait, hold on.
Where's the creativity being in the big games?
You're looking at a man, Saeed, yeah, that is now going to be entering
a system. Question, though.
Hold on. You're looking at a man, yeah, that's is entering a system now, yeah, where he has only a primary job. When Ten Hag first took over, and when obviously Ollie was doing his thing, he was doing everybody's job in that midfield, whether it's running back, tracking back, slide tackling like he was old school Keane, whether it's a case of pinging balls left, right, and center, whether it's a case of being on the left, being on the right. I literally said, and I'll stick by this because the absolute facts, and it's come through to be exactly what I said. Yeah, when Kevin De Bruyne was doing a madness, I was saying to man, yeah, I said he's isolated in his role. Kevin De Bruyne's got free license to do one job and one job only, because everyone around him, if he loses that ball. Bear in mind, that was the same season. Kevin De Bruyne lost the ball more times than Bruno that season. And this is when I was saying this. And no one spoke about it. Why? Because the system my man was in, yeah, catered for their mistakes. And no one spoke about their mistakes. Now Bruno's in a system. What we've been seeing in pre-season is literally a case of literally on a counter-attack, one-touch football, the Man United way that we've been saying. As soon as he gets a sniff of a chance to create, he's pinging that ball and he's finding man. Why? Because we're in spaces and everyone else is doing their jobs who's got time to create. You're going to get a better Bruno this season. Facts. Absolute facts. And you will not be telling me end of the season you'll find better.
I think you know what it is.
I've just said to you, you'll get a more refined Bruno Fernandes, but you won't get the output that you're talking about in the first two seasons that he had. Yeah. So therefore, you have to then upgrade on that part there, and he could be part of a squad.
You know what it is, though? I think the style of Bruno football is dying in the game, really, because he's really like an 8-10, isn't he? And there's not really who do you know who can play 8-10? Like Odegaard, I rate Odegaard. I hate Arsenal, but rate Odegaard. Do you know what I mean? He's very good at what he does, like an Ozil, isn't it? But like that what Bruno does is very unique in the world. And AG's right. You're not really going to get a player that you can buy that goes, my man can play here. Like really, he plays three positions, doesn't it? I don't rate him on the wing, but do you know what I mean? But I get what you're saying, Saeed. I think Bruno's the captain, and I think Bruno. It's funny how Musa said like the captain's like the chopping block thing. So when a man are going to be bummy to be captain now, isn't it? Man are going to be shocked. Like, I don't want to be captain. Do you know what I mean? But I think it's the leadership as well. Like there's things that Naji's. I'm pleading from what Naji's saying that like there's things you can't buy. Like Bruno he's just relentless, isn't he? Like every game he's up for it more than anyone else on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? And can you put a price on that? But at the same time, I'm a bit like you, Said, where it pisses me off when he just makes balls that you don't need to sometimes. You know what I mean?
Bro,
rushes the
come
play.
On, man.
I'll rate Bruno, but you know what the question is as well, Naji, is that can you name a better midfield three without Bruno in it? Because can you Man United create a better midfield three that doesn't include Bruno Fernandes? That's the question.
With this current squad.
No, I'm just saying. Just saying that if we buy another player, it doesn't have to be a Bruno like, but we might have a better three in the middle of the park, keeping the ball, transitioning the ball, creating without a minute. And that's just because. Of course. My worry is this. So quickly, my worry is this:
go on.
If Eric Ten Hag didn't have an idea of preparing for life after Bruno, why did he get a player that does the exact same thing? I'm thinking, where's the 8? Where's the ball? Why has he got Mason Mount? That's just Bruno, a lesser Bruno, but younger and does the exact same thing.
Do you know? I think what's going to happen, Musa? Yeah,
because Mount don't complement Bruno as an Ericsson, as a De Jong.
In my opinion, I just have to disagree with that statement. And I think we just look at ball different. So there's no point having a discussion.
You think Mount complements Bruno?
I think he can, yeah.
Okay, I get it there.
Yeah, do you know what I was going to say?
We haven't seen it.
I think, I think we do kind of see a better Bruno in it as an 8, like a back to
box to
box 8, and he can still do the playmaking as well, and the Mount will be more advanced. And I think we'll just play around with it. If we get someone like Amrabat, we can play one DM, play Bruno just in front of him and then Mount more advanced. And then maybe sometimes we might have to take out one of them and then put 2 DMs in there and just play 110. So I think we're going to have to just play around with it. Because Ten Hag likes dynamic. He doesn't like to play one way. He plays depending on who we're playing.
That's the next one right now. If we're only going to play one of Bruno and Mount and have
he's going to put him on the right. He's going to put Bruno Fernandes on the right-hand side. Why?
Yeah, if he starts doing that, I'll be annoyed. I'll be annoyed if he's doing that. Yeah.
It's on you. If your guy, this is your guy, yeah.
That's not you know.
You don't put him on the right.
Let me tell you why it's funny, yeah. Because you put him on the right. You got listen, you man, yeah. You got no gratitude. We grew up, yeah. And I know you're old enough. Listen, we grew up, yeah, watching Wayne Rooney play multiple positions and played striker for 2 seasons.
I hated Bruno.
So I don't care about Nish Batty, whether a man's playing right wing, right back, goalkeeper, yeah. If the manager wants to move him into that situation, so be it.
Wayne Rooney was world class, though. That's the problem. Wayne Rooney was world class.
And so was Bruno. And so was Bruno.
Oh my days.
So was Bruno.
But Neji, you would admit, Neji, you don't want to see Bruno on the right, man.
How can Bruno Fernandes be world class?
Like I said, yeah. If you've got a player that's so versatile. And you listen, if you trust the manager like you say you trust the manager, that means you trust his eyesight and trust what he's trying to do.
I want Ten Hag what?
So it doesn't matter whether
Ten Hag what?
What do you mean?
I want Ten Hag what?
What do you mean it's not worked? How do you know it's not worked?
Bro, you've seen it Anfield away. How many times has he played him on the right hand side? And it's not
work.
You name me a game apart from Man City at home.
Okay, all right then. So what other right winger did he have?
Who?
What other right winger did he have?
Well, he had Anthony. He had Sancho.
Anthony wasn't available.
Anthony, Sancho, Bernardo. Who else has he got?
Like he wasn't doing his thing.
Alestri was there.
Anthony wasn't available. Let me look at the man.
Yeah, not in terms of availability. Wrong choice of word. He wasn't about it. Basically, he wasn't.
Alestri. No, but I love Bruno.
So what you're telling me is, all right, then, man. So what I've just discovered, yeah, is what you're telling me is, yeah, it's that bad. That even if a man's out of form, yeah, even if a man's out of form, he shouldn't be on. He should be on the pitch because Bruno is that bad. He can't play in that position.
No, he shouldn't be on the wing though. I just don't want to see him on the wing because every time he goes on the wing,
the manager's putting him there. That's what I'm trying to say about preference. Yeah, I don't personally. I want to see Bruno in the 8-10. That makes sense. But if a manager's going to choose what he's doing and you're backing it, then put your preference to one side and go. You know what? It is what it is because no one was talking about Bruno when he was on the left-hand side.
Now, this is about
the ball shots in Champions League to Ronaldo for finishes, doing a madness on wings. No one was talking about that. It's like, oh, okay.
This is about opinions. This is about opinions right now. It's not about what the manager wants because I don't want Mount.
It's about what the manager wants.
Now, this section is about opinions. We're just having an opinion.
That's my opinion. It's about what the manager wants.
Now, that's what I'm saying. But you're following Eric to the T. But we're just saying this section is about opinions and saying that Bruno Fernandes might be the next on the chopping block based on him buying a player like Mount, the IFC, that is exactly or similar to him or less of a player.
They're not the same, man. They're completely polar.
Do you know what it is, Musa? Yeah, the only thing I disagree on that is that there's a certain drop-off when Bruno's not in our team. I'm not trying to say that he's the best player. There's just something missing. But I think in the long term, I get what you guys are saying. Eventually, we'll kind of
That's why he's
you know,
got
tweak the
Mountain though
system.
right now. That's why he's got Mountain.
Do you think Mount can do what Bruno can do though?
No,
like bring that the confidence and the energy to
Ten
the
Hag
team. I
loves
don't
him. That's Ten Hag's player. He loves him. That's his player.
Yeah,
That's the
I
manager.
hear
You know
you.
what it is, Musa? Yeah, I'll be real, man. You didn't want Mount from early, so you're giving Mason Mount the bigger. Comparing to make him then go. See, I told you, man. I know what you're doing, bro. You're smart. You're a smart guy.
But
you don't rate him, man. You don't rate Mount, bro.
But the thing is,
Musa, straight face in the camera now. Tell me you rate Mount.
You man know I don't want Mount. I want Casado.
Wallahi, I don't want him.
I don't like him.
Mount's a baller, I beg.
I don't like him. I don't like him.
But the thing is, though, they do, yeah. Big up.
Go on, bro.
Please explain why Bruno doesn't pitch up in big games. He's a spammer. He can't play in a possession-based team. There are players which are better technically than him. That's spot on. Here's my thing, yo.
I don't believe it's spot on.
I think for me, when you look at Bruno Fernandes, why I can't call him world class is that in the big games he doesn't turn up. At the moments where it's critical in cup finals, he hasn't turned up. That's what a world class player does. That's what De Bruyne does. He comes in and he plays at the biggest occasion.
Is Haaland world class?
Sorry,
is Haaland world class?
Yeah, he turns
Haaland
up.
is world class. Yeah.
So why is he struggling in semi-finals, finals, and other things, big games?
Oh, listen, man.
I'm using your logics, bro. Don't get mad.
He doesn't struggle. He has shots saved.
He don't struggle. He plays.
Haaland don't play good in big games. Haaland don't play good in big games. Haaland don't play good in big games.
That's a fair question to ask.
You didn't see the shots that he had saved in the final by Onana.
Stepping up in big games.
Oh, Onana had a couple of shots saved of him. In the FA Cup final, he was actually a good.
But world class, you finished.
decoy.
Okay, all right then. Say no more. So I'm looking at R9. He's world class striker at that time. He finishes them chances. Like what? Why are we shifting goalposts? Let's keep the logic the same.
What's that?
Yeah, the Wi-Fi.
Okay. It's not about. No, but it's not about. But also, he does. But it's true though. I'm not trying to find things. Listen, a world class player consistently plays well throughout the whole season. That's what a world class player does. But you're
talking about big games. That's not consistency.
I'm not saying Bruno Fernandes. My thing is, Bruno Fernandes, I'm not saying he's going to be a problem for this season. I am fully for Bruno Fernandes this season. But what I'm saying is, next season, I want to challenge for the league. I want to be the best in class. In order to be the best in class, you need to get the best in class. And I just think for me, next season, if Bruno Fernandes' position was not there and there was a better player in place of him, it has to be within the Man United's interest to back that. If Ten Hag is going to do that,
of course, but I don't understand how that relates to Bruno in this current situation.
Sorry,
I said, of course, I back that because that's for any player. No one's bigger than the club. However, given what Bruno is to Ten Hag and the system and everything else he's got in his locker, I don't see how he's the first to go. Yeah, we're looking at him first. I'm looking at Casemiro getting replaced before Bruno.
Listen, I'm just giving you a thesis. Yeah. I get what you're saying as well.
I think what you're saying is it's the timing.
Can't improve.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's the timing. But
don't get me wrong.
Also,
yeah. Let's be honest though. The way you're talking about him is on a slander thing. It's not even on a respectful thing. It's not like it is. That's why I'm backing it.
With a treble. Hold on a minute.
You said Pavard replaces Bruno, bro. That's disrespectful.
No. It's not because you know what it is. Yeah, as Man United fans, yeah, we need to hold these players accountable for what other teams are achieving, and we can't be like have any loyalties to players when other like Manchester City.
It's not about loyalty. It's about loyalty to the club, bro.
No, but loyalty to the club. I'm talking about. In order to be a big club and win trophies, you have to be ruthless.
That's all. Remember, and the question we asked, the question was this, Neji. We're just talking about in a possession-based team. We said, can we get a better midfield three without Bruno in it?
Can we get? And I said yes. No stress.
Yeah, so that's the basis of us saying that Eric Ten Hag might look at Bruno and say, yes, you're a good player. Yes, David De Gea, you're a great shot stopper. You've got the golden glove. You've got all of that, and I rate certain attributes. But in this type of system that I want to play, you're not the best at it. I just think they might be better players.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying to you. This is what I'm challenging. Your original statement, if you go even further back to that, wasn't that specifically about having the best midfield. It was who's next on the chopping board. Let's get it real. That's what we're talking about. Wait there. That was what you opened with. So I'm saying I'm challenging that theory in the sense of I don't think that's the case. Secondly, of course, you can go and get a better midfield if you have certain profiles for Ten Hag in a possession base. That is also a side note to what you're saying. I agree with that. But the original statement was, I think Bruno's going to be next on the chopping board. And I just can't.
Yeah,
see the
do you know why I
logic in
say that, Najee? Listen to this, Najee. Do you know why I say that? Let me give you an example. There's four positions in that team that are the spine.
Yeah,
and he's replaced every single one of them except for Bruno. The
Correct.
next part of that spine, if it doesn't work, and you want, it's not going to be a wide player. It's not going to be. If you're replacing that spine, you've got a new goalkeeper. You've got Casemiro on the 6. You've got Højlund up front. Bruno's the next.
Yeah.
And
I get it. No, I feel like if it doesn't work, because Bruno definitely has to develop on his discipline and turn up in big games.
It's so integral to how we're going to play, us competing and winning. If he's not fitting that midfield three, it's not that he's bad. Like the Gea weren't crap. We all said that. It was just that to how the manager wanted to play and what he wanted to do, he was integral to change it. And where some of us were thinking, no, that's the last place. That's the last position you need to change because he's not even that bad. Look at the stats. It's the same way I'm looking at Bruno, where on paper it doesn't look like the position Erik ten Hag will go for. But based on what I've seen, I'm thinking, hold on, if Bruno he's giving the ball away, like we're playing big games, and the reason we're losing big games is because Bruno weren't the best in possession and he was lacking, and even though he was flamboyant, the manager's just going to think, I can get assists from other players, but what I need in this midfield is not this type of midfielder. And that's why I think he might change it.
So it's just important. So what you're saying is literally important for Bruno to just step up in certain situations and fill in the voids that he did have from last season. It's a big season. If not, then we can move.
But also what Najee said as well.
I don't agree, man. But
also what Najee said, it could be the other way around. It could be Casemiro gets replaced with Caicedo before Bruno.
This is what I'm saying. It could be anyone.
I get Musa's point. Yeah, no, I get Musa's point. I think Najee's got a good point as well. It's like Ten Hag had to fill a gap. Like when he come in, the midfield was crap. It was rubbish. You know what I mean? It wasn't great. It wasn't Man United standard, was it? Do you know what I'm saying? So I think what 100%. He had to do was he had to look at this Bruno guy and he had to go, you offer me a lot within this team. You can play 10, you can play 8, you can lead, you can drive these guys, you can, do you know what I mean? I think he just kind of thingy, but Musa has got a point of, I think long term, and Najee haven't disagreed with this, to be fair. I think long term he does want 2 8s and a 6, doesn't he? I think we want more control, don't we? Because long term, them games when City are pinning us back for 20 minutes and my man just hoofs it, and we lose it and we're back on the pin, they kill me, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? So,
but big up to Pranay, big up to you. Thanks for the super chat, man. He goes, guys, treat players as if the coach just says, hey, you brothers are all techie. Go out there and ball. The players receive countless tactical info and have to make split decisions. Bruno coaches the team on the pitch. I think he's a good leader, and I think he's going to be a good captain. Like I said, I just want him to perform in the big games. And the reason why someone said to me, why are you putting it all on Bruno Fernandes? Well, you're the main guy. You're the world-class player, as Daisy says.
The main guy.
You know what I mean? So for me, I expect main responsibilities in that aspect. So it is what it is. Like I said to you people, man, I don't have a Bruno Fernandes. I've got a love-hate relationship with Bruno Fernandes. I just think for me, it's like Luke Shaw. We overgas Bruno Fernandes and we overgas these players to a level that they're world-class. They haven't shown that at Man United. They've shown world-class numbers, but not world-class consistency in that aspect in terms of big game. When you perform in big games, I'm just going to get your respect up and up and up. And I'll be like, you know what? I could call you world-class because you performed in big games, big moments, and that's what you are. But other than that, I could call him a good player, Bruno Fernandes.
It's crazy for me, because everyone knows R9 never won a flipping Champions League and Eto'o bagged 3, and still gets called world class. I think your legacy is not just about big game. Yes, do you want your better players to perform? Yes. But is there a certain way of getting your better players to perform? Yes. And Ten Hag has had to build a system around Bruno, in my opinion, not use Bruno, around Bruno. And I think once you center based on Bruno's attributes and talents, and you can cater for that Bruno Fernandes to let passes go astray every now and then, to be overly creative because that's the only role he's got. Basically, to do what De Bruyne was doing when he was the highest for giving the ball away in a season, being able to do that, but with no consequences on top of Bruno because it's part of the system. I don't believe then you can start saying he's not world class because certain players can't do everything. Similar to Pogba, he could not do everything, right? And when you have when you're in a desperate situation for your club and your team, right? Everyone looks at their best player and say, I want more from you because we're losing. And I understand that trailer thought. I get it. But the reality is when you don't have a system, right, that is structured and you have the pieces around it to make it work, right? you're very limited in what you
I
can
hear
do.
that.
And I'm saying what Bruno's done consistently, whether big games or not, because again, he's been up against more organized teams, so fair play. But more time, what he's managed to do is still pull it out the bag, even whilst we're going through a transitional period of where we're trying to build a team. I'm looking at this midfield now thinking, especially pre-season, thinking, all you've got to do now, bro, is create. And that's what he's doing. Wherever he's on the pitch, everyone's making the right runs. He's got the ability. We're all seeing the passes he's got. If that amplifies every season, I don't see how he's not going to be integral. And of course, I agree with Musa. At some point, long term, to what Leon was saying as well, long term, he's going to have to be replaced. And how he goes about that, that's fine, no problem. But I'm saying right now, Bruno is the key figure in that team. He never misses a game, bar the 1 or 2 I think he's had in his career. His output is absolutely ridiculous. And like I've always said, when a manager picks his captain, it's in the ideology of his own characteristics and personality traits. There's no way in my mind I'm looking at Bruno going, yeah, you're next on the chopping board, mate. At some point, yes, but saying next is sudden. For me, there was other players that I think will go before him because I think, again, and I'll finish on this point, the manager's building around Bruno to be able to maximize what he's got at the top. And then there'll be a conversation to say, right, it's time to move on.
Yeah, no, listen, that's fair, man. Listen, it's all about opinions, people. And big up to Freddie. Says, when has Haaland showed up in big games? Manchester Derby, Arsenal in the big games away.
Pressure games,
it's his first season. It's too early to judge. It's his first season.
Yeah, but again, like I said, I think pressure moments. They are pressure moments.
Yeah, but you said he's world class though. So if world class means that there's no first season. He's world class. You world class. That's it. You've made your name.
I think for me, he's world class. I think he's played in big games. Big
limited, man. World class goal scorer.
Okay. He's decided Man City single-handedly. Man City have won the league because of Erling Haaland's goals. Single-handedly. That for me is world class. So anyway, we're gonna wrap it up here, people. It's been a good show. I don't know how many likes we're on right now. But Leon, man, sick debut, man. Hopefully we can get you on again on the Mandem Talk. But yeah, man, Leon, big up for coming on, man.
Respect, man. I appreciate it. You can see the difference when AG's eating food, man. He's fired up. You know what I mean? AG's ready to go. Man. Yo, he's ready, man. Yo, look at him. Look at him. This is a 3-hour stream now. Double it up. My man's crazy. Do you know what I mean? But no, respect, man. Listen, blessings for you lot. I feel grateful for coming on and big up. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Do you know what I mean? Great content.
Big up, man. Big up to you, man. Neji, all love as always, man. Big up to you,
Come on, King, man. Listen, you already know, man. You got to have the flames, man. Do you know what I mean? The last week, that rascal Just Eat, didn't even give him my money back. I didn't get my food.
Wow.
So today I ate off camera out of respect, okay, minus the beans. But I ate off camera, and I feel good now, man. But yeah, listen, of course, if you need anything from me, Sunshine47, you can see it right there. That's on Instagram. Of course, catch me and Leon as well in Nottingham. Shout out to Leon for tickets and nuts. I will be DJing there in Nottingham, so make sure you come check us out there. We're going to be doing absolute madness up and nuts. And of course, Fantasy Premier League as well. I'll be giving the top 4. If you make top 4 in my league, I will be sending you a football shirt of your choice. You can have a Bad Boy Yard shirt from myself or any United shirt. I'll send that straight to your doorstep. But yeah, man, if you need anything else regarding football, Twitter's where I'm at, man. Sunshine47. And go check out my new mix as well. I just dropped a bad R&B mix, man. Go check that out, man. If you're struggling to get gal, listen, put my playlist on, put the bed, you know what I mean, the rose petals, put the playlist on, sit there, silk dressing gown, just wait for the first rhythm. I promise you. You got
AG, you know how I know you're on smoke today? Where is Musa? You know what I mean? Gone.
He's gone. He's left. You know what it is?
He left.
That's the question we need to ask before we lock off, Saeed, Leon, are you team Three Blind Mice or are you team Hardy Boys?
Oh,
what do you mean?
Damn.
Like last week, man, it was Saeed, it was Ty, it was Ryan, Three Blind Mice. You know what I mean?
Well, you got extra member now, so
I'm not with the Welbeck thing still. I'm not with the Welbeck.
Oh, you know, there's 4 blind mice. 4 blind mice.
Come on. Nah, big up to you, man.
Yeah, I love man.
Rhino, pleasure as always, man. Big up to you, my bro.
Yeah, man. Nah, man. Pleasure as always, man. I always appreciate you having me, Saeed, man. Big up the man. Then big up Leon as well, man. Sick, man. Like your opinion and whatnot. I remember when I was there as well. So, you know, we got to work, man. But yeah, you guys can find me social media, Rhino UK Official, YouTube, Rhino MGTV. And listen, big up Side as always. Listen, Side's mashing in the works, you know. I've just checked the likes
right now. What we're on
576 from what I've seen. 576. So Yeah, man.
Yeah,
That's good,
come on,
man.
that's good, man. That's good. That's good.
Big up the chat as well, man. Big up the chat. But yeah, good show, man.
Big up
Sick
the
show,
chat.
man.
Yeah, man. Big up the
Time.
people, man. Like I said, Mandem Talk. Listen, it's for the people. You know what I mean? It's a WhatsApp group that turns into a YouTube chat. So, like I said, man, get involved, man. Have your own little Mandem talks. You know what I'm saying? To all Galdem talks for the women out there as well.
Yo, someone put that at the
man,
start,
so-
you know.
Get
Someone put
get
the where's the
Najee's
Galdem
playlist.
chat come in.
Get the
Someone put
playlist
that-
out
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Listen,
Galdem
if you need,
chat.
even if
I'm
you're not in a
telling you.
playlist thing, yeah, I got a Spotify playlist called, yeah, Entre Les Sabanas. And that means between the sheets in Spanish. Listen, I've got you pattern people, man. Trust me,
There you
I'm
go,
ready.
man.
I'll send it you, man. Just DM me. I got you people.
Yeah,
on.
man. Come on. You know what I'm saying? Big up to everyone here, man. Like I said, people, man, I'll be back tomorrow, man, for the Premier League debate show. And yeah, man, enjoy the rest of the evening, people. We're out. Peace.